Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forge Alliance Forever. This is a ladder match on Stella Maris WM 1v1, the altered version of Stella Maris by Mad Mozart. Still don't know what WM means. Maybe Mozart will tell me in the chat, because I think, yeah, the normal Stella Maris does not have WM on it. Slow is our UEF player in the bottom left, in the blue, and in the top right. Playing Aeon. Obfuscating his identity slightly. It's Blodir. Man who loves raiding more than probably anything else to do with FAF. So he has to change accounts. They have pretty much the same rating, I think. Hydro coming first. No P-gens, of course, because, well, you're right next to Hydro. No point building P-gens. Now, we also have a lot of tree groups on this map. A lot of tree groups. And if you are bothered and you want to abuse them, I guess you can. It's sort of unavoidable. You're gonna break some, but I think this is good from Zlo. Third engineer is on an attack move. Gonna grab a lot of nice power, so he can go air with only 3 P-gens. See how many Blodir makes. Yeah, 3 as well. He's not getting tree reclaim, however, getting delicious mass. Probably you want to grab these rocks instead of making mechs, I would say, at this stage, to be honest. But you know, I'm not going to argue with Blodir because he's not here. So I can say whatever I want and can't be any comeback. The beauty of casting. Transport coming up for Azlo. 2 engineers playing the role of the lumberjack. More power being built, and look at all this extra power. Lovely. He's going to use it up. You can see a 1700 almost reclaimed. 1k in the bank. Quite a quick transport. Nice power. Looks good for him. Obfuscation. Also rushing a transport, his actually came a little faster, and he has got nice amount of tree reclaim as well, adding more P-gens. He's definitely behind on power income, but his transport is a bit faster. Only has 3 engineers on board. Let's see where he's going with them. He's going to drop 1 here, okay, and 1 here, and 1 over here. So that's interesting. You generally don't see people drop in that way. So if I'm against Slow, I'm going to be thinking Zlo's going to be aggressive. Oh, look at that. Zlo really loves to do this. I think it's a cool trick. Drop all your build power on the hydrocarbon, and you just rush it and get back on the transport and go expand somewhere else. Hydro is insanely efficient. Even in the year 3000 or 4000, whatever this is, hydrocarbons are still the most efficient fuel source. You'd think they'd have fusion power at this stage, but no. Burning coal or oil is still the best shit around, apparently. But anyway, what I was saying about Blodir's transport, I would be worried dropping a single engineer here. If your opponent drops across, which is gonna happen on this map sometimes, and I think we've seen it happen before, and if he drops here, he just gets rid of your engineer. Your single engineer can't do anything to hold on to this, so it's a bit risky. I'd say it's kind of Blodir style, and actually making factory here. It's pretty expensive on power and sort of delays expansion, but I guess it's going to help him get the trees quite quickly. He's really actually going to exploit the trees quite well, and there's a lot of rocks mixed in here, so a lot of NG's going to be built, a lot of reclaim going to be got. So instead of expansion, he makes sure he gets a fast Gets a lot of engineers out fast, and he's going to have a lot of reclaim to work with. And it looks like he's winning air as well over here. So nice energy production, and he did not kill the transport, however. Now we have more drops coming in. Only one engineer on board. The rest are in use, spamming P-gens and factories. Naval factory going up. You often see a naval factory have already gone up at this stage on this map. But this is still decently quick. And Blodir's going to get there first. Now, there's a lot queued up for Zlo, but none started just yet. He's about to start them. There might be a frigate across here to kill those engineers. Looks like the transport is going to get taken out. And Blodir hunting some inties and also hunting this bomber, getting a kill there. Transport still lives. Look at this. More epic hydrocarbons for Zlo. Burn the coal. Who needs nuclear power? Obviously hasn't been invented yet. After 1,000 years of constant war, still didn't figure that shit out. They can teleport around the galaxy though. Who knows how they how they create that much energy with hydrocarbons, but there you go. Actually, I guess the T3 Gen is a fusion reactor. That's as efficient as hydrocarbons. Anyway, Blodir is absolutely dominating air. Well, actually, no. Zlo is just hiding his inties. Wants to protect his bomber. He's going to try and lock this factory with the bomber. Let's see if he succeeds. Bombers sometimes go a bit further away now. Since the last patch, I changed the breakoff distance a bit, or the multiplier for the breakoff distance. But with the UEF bomber, it's just going to absolutely wreck this. So it does so much damage. And it does damage over time. And he just dropped 5 engineers and reclaimed the factory on top of that. So Zlo, at just before 7 minutes, has now started a proxy in Blodir's portion of the map on his land. And look, actually Blodir has 3 engineers here, so he can actually try and counter this with these engineers, get a base up, but this is dangerous and an interesting time for Zlo to do this. It doesn't often happen that you can start a proxy this late, and this could be huge for Zlo. Blodir has to now immediately react and deal with it. He's dropping more build power over to here and gonna try and really get a lot of factories up here. Oh, Zlo doing well with the bomber, getting some more kills. This is the spot to kill though. And he's not targeting. He has a couple of bombers though. I think he's gonna do this very shortly. Yeah, but unfortunately lost his air scout just as he wanted to drop. He tries to guess with a ground fire but misses. And there's a lot of engineers there now. And actually, that a bomber just went down for him, for Blodir. Zlo trying to micro his inties. Oh no, he stopped microing. And that may cost him. He's also under 2 anti-air turrets now, but looks like he still kills Blodir's inties. Sees Zlo not having trouble here. Edge building factories, that's a good idea. Lets you get these mexes. You can build engineers at these factories and expand that way. Blodir going for less factories but more assist. And Zlo just trying to get a lot of factory build power up in the naval. Let's see the economy. Oh, a shit ton of mass for Blodir, so it's probably going to be upgrading a few mexes, and he needs to get some T2. Nobody moving to T2 yet, which I think is kind of strange on this map, considering, I mean, we're at like 9 minutes. This map has a huge amount of economy on it. a lot of mexes, so sort of expect a slightly faster T2 time so you can get that good, efficient T2 P-gen. 5 factories up in the proxy for slow. Bombers just, oh, look at that guy, 8 kills. Almost on his second vet level. More bombers over here, but they're wasted a bit, I think. This one did great. And now the Aurora moving in, but there's already quite a lot of tanks up for Zlo and also some arty. Still only 4 factories. Blodir does not know what's here. He needs to be aware of how many factories have gone up in this proxy so he can react accordingly. And probably get some PD up here, maybe. Try and make sure this doesn't become a very serious problem. Look at how he's cleaned this map though. Got a lot of reclaim. A lot of reclaim. Far more than Zlo has. Actually, almost double in both power and mass. You can see the difference here. Zlo has not grabbed all of this, unlike Blodir. Oh, he's actually cleared the front as well, and Zlo has not expanded here at all. That's a big problem. I mean, there's a beach here. You can just simply walk engineers or ACU or whatever to this location. So definitely a mistake from Zlo to not have expanded there. It's a pretty bad mistake. Maybe he lost the engineer, but I don't see a dead engie anywhere. A lot of subs coming from Zlo. That's going to be annoying for Blodir. It looks like Blodir is winning air. You can see how he uses build power. All these engineers are finished reclaiming. So, put them to use. Get a factory up, start assisting it. And he's gone T2 air and T2 navy. Basically the same time. And Zlo, meanwhile, has T2 air getting his T2 P-gen shortly. And he has a Sparky out as well. Now that Zlo has T2 air, he can make a T2 air support factory, get some Sparkies up, or T2 engineers in this proxy, and that would make it a lot scarier for Blodir. Can also get T2 defenses, T2 PD, T2 black, if necessary. Judging by the air scenario, maybe it will become necessary, but definitely a T2 air support factory would be really nice right now, and get those TMLs out, because Blodir's going to want to eco, and when he's ecoing, he's going to want to eco in this direction. This is where his mexes are, and they're going to be in range of a TML. You can see the ACU from the base can reach to here, so ACU, a TML here, could reach these mexes potentially without going too far. Desperately needs that P-gen. Needs to really pause everything to get it up a bit more efficiently. Blodir slowly making his own T2 P-gen. Realizes he has quite a lot of T1, so he doesn't need it right away. What he does have is T2 Sub Hunter to get rid of these T1 subs. He also has a destroyer out already, and his frigs are going to work killing this naval build power. If we look over here, these are all building subs, but they're going to be useless because Blodir is already on T2 Navy and he's Aeon, and they have a very good T2 submarine. The Vesper has very good torp defense and torpedoes and a decent health, and he also has the Exodus class destroyer with torpedoes and depth charges. Depth charges do a lot of damage, and yeah, this Destro can be very dangerous, and he could use it against, well, likely he's gonna use it against the naval production first, which is the sensible decision. Go for the naval production, win the navy completely, and then deal with the other problems around the map. Because if you look at the range of this thing, because the Cybern and the Aeon do not have a missile cruiser, they have the longer range destroyer, so they can actually bombard the shore on the T2 naval stage. So it has 80 range, and it can hit all of this, can hit all of this, can hit the entire main base as well. Similarly over here, this proxy will be under threat from T2 Navy once he gets around to it. This base here, which has the T2 mechs. And there's not much that can't be hit by destroyers on this map. And there's even gunships. This is very nice rating. 1 dead mechs, more coming. And there's T2 mechs that are in danger here. A lot of T2 mechs here, and I don't see any defense from Zlo. Where are his inties? They're across the map. They're very spread out, and he doesn't even have very many of them. I'm sort of disappointed. He's still no T2 air support factory. I'd probably rush that straight away after making T2 air. But the use of units from Blodir is really good. The damage he's doing with these gunships is very, very high. T2 mech's gonna go down now. He's already killed many mechs, many T1 mechs. And it looks like they will survive to do more damage. They're not low on HP at all yet. And there's no anti-air, I see. The naval being one, all of these dead subs. Look at all of these things just dropping out of the ocean. Dropping from the surface, or almost at the surface, down to the bottom of the ocean. 17 kills, 3,371 veterancy points. Just massive damage. Torpedoes trying to do work as Blodir's gunships take out second, third T2 mechs. And they're still not stopped. Look at this. They're all gonna vet after killing this last one. Well, assuming they do. I think they may manage it. Let's see. That chunky UEFHB. Oh, there's only one remaining, and it doesn't finish the job. But with all these swift wins and supported by inties, Blodir will still win the air. And he has 2 destroyers right outside the base of Zlo. Looking at the top though, Zlo with a huge amount of T1 land. Spamming units, arties, mobile anti-air, tanks. Oh, look at these Aurora from below firing up onto the edge of the cliff. That is very impressive. They're doing a great job actually. Look at all these dead tanks and arties as they try and sneak past, but they're actually getting wrecked. And over here, gunships trying to work on these tanks. The mobile anti-air not really doing a huge amount to help there. Doing some damage, but he needs more of them to deal with gunships. And now, Zlo trying to make T2 PD, but he's just... it's not possible. 2 Destros already on top of him. He can't even make air. He's, because of the air above him blocking his production. And he has no naval production anymore. Oh, he's trying to get more up in this location, but Blodir will have to try and spot it. Let's see. And take that out. Maintain his naval control. Zlo now destroys any defenses on this side for Blodir, and should be moving in to grab a lot of the reclaim that's here. Now we have an air factory and it's idle. I think that's going to go T2. And he still does have some mechs about. Few T2 mechs around, but he has lost a lot of economy. And his base cannot survive versus these 2 Destros. He can't make torpedoes. Torpedo bombers because of these swift winds circling overhead. A lot more air here as well. Blodir needs to be switching to mostly aggressive air right now, I think. And he actually only just now finished that T2 PGen. That's interesting. Well, when you go into Navy, you should note that Navy is not very power heavy. It's the least power heavy of the 3 areas between air, Air is obviously the most power heavy, especially once you get to T3 air. It's very power intensive. Then, you know, the land factories not nearly as power intensive. And then naval is the least power intensive. So he didn't really need much power to fund the navy and could use his power just to win air. And look at how he's done with that. I mean, the swift wind's helping a huge amount. That factional advantage really does count, especially on maps where you have a significant eco and you can make quite a few swift wins. T2 land factory here. Where's the HQ? I wonder. Oh, here it is. Oh, he's making T2 air support factory. It doesn't really matter now. He already has T2 land factory on that side, so didn't really allow him to get faster tech on that side. But look at this, 4 Destros now on the shore. There's no way he can stop this entire base from going down. He's already lost his T2 air HQ, 2 P-gens. He's gonna lose all his mexes, all his power, all his factories here. Gonna try and delay it with some Sparkies building shield, and he's also gonna try and grab as much of the mass as he can before he loses it all, or he loses all of his factories. And on the top, look at this. Oh, this is a lot of kills here being fed to these Aurora and this PD. A lot of units moving in that are just streaming, and it's not a very wide passage, and actually the pathfinding is quite fucked here, actually. Oh no. Need some traffic police to say who has the right of way, because this is completely fucked. It's a mess, but we have T2 land now, and those flaks are gonna keep the army safe. And we're also getting pillars, but now, well, he tried to make some naval production. You can see Blodir is keeping his eye out for that and has killed it all once again. Artie is patrolling the shores, trying to protect this stuff at least. And the base has not been finished, actually, although, well, it's pretty much finished. All the T2 mexes, most of the factories are gone. There's some T1. That doesn't look like a good place to build a P-gen. And look at this, Blodir even dropping engineers. He's going to try get a lot of this reclaim. There's a lot of it here. A lot of factories give significant mass. The T1 subs give significant mass. That's a T2 sub down there. That is quite juicy. And plenty of frigs as well. Look at the land spam. The land spam is huge. And Blodir has a minuscule army. And no T2 PD or T1 PD anymore. And this army is coming towards his base. So it does have to get through this just tiny choke, which is going to really screw with the pathfinding and really not be good for Zlo. I'm not sure. Well, actually these walls are fucking with him as well. And now with all of those units bunched up, even though the bombers only get 1 pass, it's completely worth it, I have to say. Killed so many units there. And now the gunships arrive. Now there are 2 flaks here. Many mobile anti-airs, so I think these gunships are going to get melted pretty quick, and Blodir has to be careful he doesn't fly too close to the skyboxers. Now the Destros do all the damage they intend over here and move to the north where there's more. There's another HQ and there's more T2 P-gens to be killed. And Zlo is on a time limit right now. He just lost. That was the T2 Max there from a long time ago. He just lost it to this Destro, and there's another one arriving, trying to get more P-gens up, more shields around them, trying to delay what is probably inevitable, which is Destro's killing all. But he has a time limit. He has a time limit. Before the Destros kill everything, he can do massive damage. This is a very nice weapon to have. It's a TML and it's quite far forward. He's made so much ground up that he can get it in range of everything. Surely that's in range of all. Yes, it is. Except that mechs. Who cares? 1 T2 mechs. Does not matter. The Aurora are really showing their strength here. Now the PDs also going up are helping a lot. The commander is just there really for moral support. Hasn't done too much so far. It's mostly about the bombers killing so many bunched up units. And this army is really melted. Look at how much of it died here. And how much of it died here. Most of this is dead UEF rather than Aeon. Now he can't continue pushing. He needs to just keep going. These mobile anti-airs getting a lot of kills. But it looks like the flak is dead. The ACU, Blodir microing heavily to avoid the Lobo shells. And to try and do as much damage as possible because he does not have sufficient defenses. He's thrown up more land factories. And he's even assisting them with idle engineers. And using gunships as well as the mobile anti-air. The flaks are dead, but arties have arrived, but what targets do they have? Well, he could go after the HQ. Now, one thing, he should be assisted. Well, I don't know why the Sparky is paused, but wait, the Sparky says it's paused, but it's actually... Oh, it probably has jamming turned off. That's probably what it is. But it's assisting that TML heavily, and it's in range of everything. And there's a lot of shit that could get killed. For example, that T2 PGen. All of the T2 mechs is here except this one. 2 HQs are in range, and actually this HQ is under fire. It's already been hit twice on the 800 HP, and it goes down. So Zlo decides to retreat. His army here has been wiped. He has more reinforcements coming in, and there's pillars involved this time. Now maybe he could make some PDs forward here to try and hold this ground, try and make up this, grab this reclaim. But over here you can see how much damage is being done. He's getting more shields, trying to hold on, trying to build his power in many locations to keep it alive. But look, he's still losing all of this to the destroyers, which are basically unchallenged. There's nothing that can kill them right now. And Zlo is really just all in this land, and if he doesn't wipe this base, what chance does he have really? Now these locations are good for him for building in, but it doesn't seem like he's building there. Does have his ACU in a nice safe spot, safe from Navy at least, but you know, here is safe with the cliffs from Navy. Maybe that would be a place to go, but it looks like now that all his factories have actually been killed by the destroyers, he's run out of units. He didn't replace those factories until just now, realizing that he had lost those, and suddenly he has no production. Well, now he has no army for the foreseeable future. Just has these few down here. The rest got cut off and killed by Blodir's now superior T1 production. The TML has done well for him so far, but Blodir's quick to react. He had T2 engineers around. He did lose his T2 HQ, but naval HQ, but at this point it's not so important actually, because he has so many Destros out already. He has 7. These two here enlisted for defense. They can probably be moved out now with the nice army that Blodir's produced. Blodir also ecoing in many locations, but actually this is dangerous. There's a TML still here, which well, it may be about to die to these many T1 bombers, which are gonna wipe out the PDs first. They actually missed. They overshot. I guess they were coming over this mountain. The altitude fucked with them. And this TML is not going to last long. Oh, it's actually in range of the AoE. Wow. Okay. RIP the TML. But holy shit, it actually killed 4 mechs in that time. None of those were dead by the time when I first looked. That's insane. But yeah, Blodir has every corner of the map with covered with destroyers, just constantly killing Zlow's stuff. Let's look at the kill ratio at 1.3. Zlow actually he has more mass, which is, to be honest, understandable considering that the uh, the map control he's had for the majority of the game. He has more mass income. He has more total mass. He has a higher score. But what can he do versus these destroyers? What can he possibly do? It's hard to say. I mean, these pockets would be the area. Maybe he needs to. I mean, I'm not sure how he can survive here with against the Destros. Honestly, he's trying to make arties. I mean, they're going to be killing Destros eventually, but Blodir can rebuild his T2 naval HQ. It looks like his land force is far superior now, so Zlo is going to have to make T2 PD, and they'll likely die to destroyers as well. Let's see if this lands. Ooh, direct hit. You can see they do massive damage when they do hit. They hit pretty regularly. I mean, maybe he can survive. Maybe he can turtle up, get some T3 mexes, go T3 air maybe. Or just try his best to get some T2 air up and torp as much as he can. Go for the snipe, torp the commander. It's hard to say. But Blodir, I mean, yes, if he kills these destroyers, he can survive. There's not that many destroyers to kill, and there's no more T2 naval production. Actually, Blodir is the one going for T3 air. He already has T3 land, so Harb's moving out, and that could be devastating. He can drop those. Drop one Harb here, and this disappears. Drop one Harb here, and it gets very dangerous unless PD is thrown up very quickly. And now with that T3 land, then Blodir can do a lot of damage around the place. And certainly can destroy this with the help of some snipers or T3 mobile arty. And Blodir feeling very safe. His main base is really under no threat, whereas Zlo spread out everywhere and feels the pressure of destroyers everywhere. They did actually force this destroyer away with an MML, which is kind of funny. But this destroyer is going to come back with a couple of friends and wreck the gaff. Another TML going up, but well, let's see how the two T2PDs do. Got some more T1 in front defending. Sparky's also going to defend with their guns. And some bomber action. These Fervors going to drop the T1 PDs at the front very quickly. They probably should have been built under the shield, but there's already stuff right at the edge. Still, Zlo leads in terms of mass. But unless he has a plan to kill the Destros, he's done. Oh, replay over. Well, that's a sad ending. I'm not sure why the replay ended right there. Maybe it crashed, maybe Zlo had to leave, or maybe he just thought, he could well have thought that that's that, honestly. Let's see what he saw. Did he see... Well, he saw T3 land for sure. Oh, he saw T3 mechs as well next to the T3 land factory. I mean, with the 4 Harbingers already moving to the left, you have to think that this base is not going to survive. And if this base dies and Blodir can safely be ecoing all this stuff, take all of the mass, then it is going to be GG. I guess Lo did not have a plan to kill the Destros. I can't think of one, to be perfectly honest. I think the only option maybe was just, yeah, build defenses here and try get a lot of air production up. But, well, the game ended, alas. This is a scenario where you think it would be nice to be able to play a game from a fixed scenario. You say, oh, well, you're in this scenario, you dropped in, and then you just play from there, and you can try many different things. That would be kind of cool if you could do that with games, but oh well. There was a save mod once upon a time. Maybe someone will make a new one. Anyway, that is it for today. Hope you enjoyed the game. I think Zlo was just about done here anyway, so I probably didn't miss too much, and Blodir was playing very well. You can see the power of the T2 Navy here, and also the power of the land proxy. I mean, Zlo did so much damage, held so much of the map, created so many problems, but Blodir made a great decision to just go for the naval win straight away. He just knew that's what he needed, and then he could deal with anything really. Power of the Destro. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you tune in for the next one. I'll see you then.